Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sofia Nalvaya, and in this presentation we are going to discuss the significance of the preface of Kanthapura published in 1938. In the preface, Raja Rao has commented upon his use of English language, and the preface is in fact as important as the novel itself. We cannot write like the English. We should not. We cannot write only as Indians. Our method of expression has to be a dialect which will someday prove to be as distinctive and colorful as the Irish and the American. Time alone will justify it, wrote Raja Rao in the preface of his classic Kanthapura, first published in 1938. The beginning of the novel itself is a demonstration of this distinctive language. Our village, I don't think you have ever heard of it. Kanthapura is its name, and it is in the province of Kara. High on the Ghats is it, high up the steep mountains that face the cool Arabian seas. Up the Malabar coast is it, up Mangalore and Puttur, and many a centre of cardamom and coffee, rice and sugarcane. Roads, narrow, dusty, rut-covered roads, went through the forest of teak and jack, of sandal and of sal, hanging over bellowing gorges and leaping over elephant-haunted valleys. They turn now to the left and now to the right. Rao explains every Indian village has a Sthal Purana or the legendary history of its own. Often, a god or hero has passed through the village and left their mark in the memories of its inhabitants, so that in everyday life the past mingles with the present and the gods mingle with the men. Kanthapura is one such story about a village. To quote Raja Rao again, the telling has not been easy. One has to convey in a language that is not one's own the spirit that is one's own. English is not really an alien language to us. It is the language of our intellectual makeup, not our emotional makeup. Thus, Raja Rao notes that the telling has not been easy, chiefly because translating Indians' ways of thinking and constructing meaning into an alien language like English is difficult. But English is actually not an alien language to Indians because though they think in English, they do not feel in English. Indians can write in English, but they cannot write like the English because the feeling will then be missing. Rather, Indian English must become a distinctive and colorful dialect of the language which time alone will justify. Indian writing in English must express the tempo of Indian life, which is a process of rush and tumble and move on. Suggests that the distinctive tempo accounts for the length of important Hindu epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana, which demonstrate the rambling, ordinary style of our storytelling that his narrator adapts. Rao imagines the story told by a grandmother addressing a newcomer on her veranda at dusk, recounting her village's sad tale. Rao justifies his decision to tell Kanthapura history in Achakka's distinctive style, which breaks most conventions of narrative voice by following a meandering stream of consciousness rather than a linear storyline. Thus, even though English is a colonial language, it offers Indians a form of expression that subverts the colonial regime. Rao adapts a colonial tool to anti-colonial purpose, writing in a style of English that is not the dry language of education and record keeping, but rather the sort of vernacular language in which a Sthala Purana would ordinarily be told. He says, we in India think quickly, we talk quickly, and we move quickly. There must be something in the sun of India that makes us stumble and run on. We tell our interminable tale. Episode follows episode, and when our thoughts stop, our breath stops, and we move on to another thought. This was still the ordinary style of our storytelling. Writing about various lives in his village, the rich and the poor, the disparate caste and religious equations, the clash of the old and the new, he touched the world. The Polish poet Zelaw Milosz wrote his only poem in English titled To Raja Rao. This, in fact, establishes the superiority of Rajarao as a writer, and in understanding the literary style of Rajarao, the preface of Kanthapura is a very, very, very important tool.